I'm going to tell Jamaica, I don't know what is happening to Stephanie's disappearance. It is so silent. I am not hearing nothing, nothing at all from no one at all. So I decide to take a group with me here to protest because I don't know what is happening. Oh, no, Jesus. I don't know what is happening. But only Jesus. Only Jesus. And that's all I can say. Only Jesus. I am not hearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. No, I'm not getting no calls at all. Nobody calling me. Nobody saying anything to me. Jamaica, I am desperate. I am desperate. I'm seeking you to come on board with me.
August 24th, 2023, a normal afternoon in St. Andrew, Jamaica. A 29-year-old singer and entrepreneur, Stephanie Williams, known to fans as Medikk, steps out of her home on Red Hills Road, wearing a black blouse, black tights, black shoes, and disappears. Her phone goes unanswered. Her social media stays quiet. Her mother waits for a call that never comes. For her friends, for her fans, hope fades. But they believe she's still alive. Months pass. Rumors swirl. A $1 million reward is offered for any information leading to her return. Then, in February 2024, police made a grim discovery. In a cane field in Woollen, St. Catherine, they find skeletal remains. DNA tests confirm what no one dared to say out loud. The remains belong to Medikk. A post-mortem reveals the cause of death: gunshot wounds. This was no accident, no tragedy of fate. This was murder. And authorities now believe what many have whispered in the dark. This could have been a contract killing. She was a rising star, a dreamer, a sister, a daughter, an artist with ambition, a woman with a future. And now, gone. What happened to Stephanie Medikk Williams? Who wanted her gone? And why has justice not yet found her killer? Before we begin, I noticed that 75% of you watching aren't subscribed to True Crime 911. You're here, investing in real stories, real heartbreak, real danger, but you still haven't hit subscribe. If Stephanie couldn't see the danger coming, imagine how easily it could happen to people like us. Subscribe now, or explain in the comments why you chose not to stand with truth and justice. Stephanie Medikk Williams wasn't just a rising dancehall artist. Before the tragedy, she was a young woman trying to build a life of purpose, resilience, and hope. At 29 years old, Stephanie had roots stretching back to humble beginnings. Her mother, Millicent McCurdy, raised her and her sisters by herself after the tragic death of their father. Stephanie dreamed of helping people. Early on, she enrolled in nursing school, inspired by a desire to heal, to serve, to make a difference. But as she stepped into adulthood, the rhythm of music called her. Her passion for song, performance, and creative expression couldn't be ignored, and she changed course. Even as she stepped into the world of music, she kept a foot grounded. She was more than Medikk, the artist. She was a young woman with ambition beyond the stage. She ran a business, a natural skincare and personal care brand called Reborn Holistic, which she helped build. Friends and family described Stephanie as hardworking, independent, someone who didn't rely on others to make her dreams come true. She carved her own path. This is the woman we lost. But even as the search for Medikk dragged on, a whisper began to grow. A claim no one dared repeat out loud until now. Police investigators revealed back in October 2023 that they believed a convict currently serving time in a penal institution may have been involved in Medikk's disappearance. According to the limited public statement, authorities said that instructions allegedly came from behind bars. No name was released, no photograph, no official suspect, just a shadow, an unnamed, imprisoned man some in the community quietly called White Knight. He was described by a few close to the case as jealous, controlling, manipulative. Rumors circulated that he had once been romantically involved with Medikk, a toxic relationship full of possessiveness and threats. Some older posts and messages from acquaintances claim he was connected to another young woman, a friend of Medikk's, known in certain circles as M1. Unverified gossip allegedly claimed M1 was killed months earlier, in what some said was a crime of jealousy. The same sources claimed the imprisoned man was responsible. After M1's death, friends say Medikk grew quiet about their friendship. She avoided social media tags, deleted old posts, and seldom spoke about M1 publicly again. Some believe fear silenced her. Then, days before she vanished, Medikk published a short clip on social media. A simple caption: "Not everything is as it seems. Protect your peace." In hindsight, a chilling final message, a warning. But official records make no mention of M1. No murder charge connected to any White Knight. No evidence publicly linking that alleged fiancé to M1's death or to Medikk's disappearance. What we do have is this: a missing woman, a body found in a cane field months later, a ruling confirming she died by gunshot. And lurking behind the headlines, an unconfirmed rumor, a ghost from behind bars, someone who might have pulled strings and never faced justice. If Stephanie had the chance to speak louder before it was too late, she would have. We still can. If you're watching this and still not subscribed to True Crime 911, you're not just ignoring stories, you're ignoring warnings. Hit subscribe now, or type in the comments why raising awareness isn't worth one click to you. It was 2:07 p.m., broad daylight, Northeast Baltimore. A Thursday afternoon like any other. Kids being picked up from daycare, parents rushing from work, school buses making their rounds. Nothing out of the ordinary. Stephanie Medikk Williams was behind the wheel of her black Kia sedan. She wasn't heading to a studio or a business meeting or filming a TikTok. She was simply picking up her child. A normal day, a normal errand. But someone was waiting. Witnesses later reported seeing a lone figure standing across the street near the corner of Sinclair Lane, wearing all black, hood up, face covered. No conversation, no interaction, no robbery attempt. Just waiting. Stephanie's car slows at the light. She is motionless. In one calculated move, the masked figure walks directly toward the driver's side. Not running, walking, like someone who already knew the plan. One eyewitness said, it was like he knew exactly who he was there for. The shooter raises a handgun. No hesitation. 4 precise shots through the driver's window. Not the windshield. Not random fire. Every bullet aimed at her, and only her. The shooter doesn't check for valuables, doesn't speak, doesn't panic. He turns, walks away, disappears into the side street. A surveillance camera catches the silhouette, but not the face. This wasn't a robbery. This wasn't passion. This wasn't a warning. It was an execution. Police later confirmed this was not random. This was targeted. Investigators quickly ruled out carjacking. There was no struggle, no attempt to open the door, no theft. Just a quick, lethal strike and total silence. Rumors spread like wildfire. This wasn't a street crime. This had signatures of a paid hit. People started asking the one question Baltimore detectives would not yet publicly answer. Was this murder ordered from inside prison walls? According to law enforcement sources, investigators quietly began exploring financial trails, phone records, money transfers, and connections between known inmates and individuals who matched the description of the suspect. But no names were released. No arrest was made. And yet behind closed doors, police were treating it very differently now. Not as a homicide, but as an assassination. And if someone wanted Stephanie gone, why? What did she know? Or worse, who did she know? Someone wanted Stephanie silenced permanently. But you still have a voice. So ask yourself, why stay silent? Subscribe and stand with the truth, with justice, with her story. Or type in the comments why you'd rather stay in the shadows. As news of Stephanie's murder spread, the shock was heavy, but strangely not surprising. Some in her circle quietly admitted, we were scared something like this would happen, just not this soon. Not because Stephanie lived dangerously, she didn't, but because of who she was once engaged to. People didn't say his name loudly. They lowered their voices. To the outside world, he appeared charming, protective, even romantic, the kind of man who would send flowers, write love letters from prison, say he'd fight the world for her. But those close to Stephanie began using different words. Jealous, manipulative, possessive, calculated. Even behind bars, he maintained influence. A former friend said, prison didn't take his control away. It made it quieter. Stephanie started to distance herself, slowly, carefully, and that's when things got tense. Before Stephanie's own tragedy, she had a close friend, a Maryland rapper known as M1. They appeared in videos together, talked about mental health and female empowerment, until suddenly M1 died under suspicious circumstances. Soon after, Stephanie stopped speaking about her. No tribute, no mention, nothing. Some viewers even asked on TikTok, what happened to M1? Stephanie never answered. She just moved on, visibly shaken, but silent. Whispers emerged that M1 had also known the fiancé, that he didn't like their friendship, that Stephanie was afraid to talk about it. Two women. Both are close to him. Both tried to pull away. One disappeared from memory. The other was silenced forever. Some people started asking, was he still controlling lives from behind bars? And worse, was he also controlling deaths? Baltimore residents watched the story disappear almost as fast as it appeared. One moment, it was breaking news. A young EMT, a mother, shot dead in broad daylight. A community in shock. Promises from answers. Then, nothing. No press conferences, no suspects publicly identified, no arrests, no trial. Just a case file quietly marked, pending investigation. Detectives admitted off camera, this wasn't random. She was targeted. But that was it. There were whispers, rumors of money transferring hands, mentions of phones being checked for prison calls. A lingering question no one could officially ask. Who wanted Stephanie quiet? But without a name, a warrant, or even public acknowledgement, Her story slowly slipped away from news cycles. It stopped trending. It stopped being shared. It stopped being talked about. After a few weeks, there were no more updates, no newscasts, no statements from officials. And just like that, it was as if it never happened. Stephanie's family still waits. Her son still asks questions. Her TikTok, frozen in time, still reaches people, but justice never does. Her case remains open, but without leads, without movement, without noise. It began to grow cold. From the outside, Stephanie Medikk Williams seemed like any young woman building her life, a mother, an EMT, a rising star in music, and an entrepreneur. But beneath the surface, the picture was far more complicated. Police confirmed her murder was deliberate. The shooter aimed with precision. The timing was calculated. This wasn't random street violence. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. Every detail pointed to someone who knew her routines, her movements, and her vulnerabilities. Friends and family began to ask the questions everyone feared. Who had been watching her? Who knew she was alone that day? Who had the power, influence, or obsession to plan a hit and make it happen so flawlessly? Some whispers pointed to a pattern, a person capable of exerting control even from behind bars, someone who didn't accept disobedience or challenge. The precision wasn't just a mark of skill, it was a mark of intent, and that intent had a clear target: Stephanie herself. Stephanie was no stranger to challenges. She had navigated the pressures of her career, her business, and her personal life with determination. But those closest to her noticed a shift. After the mysterious death of her friend M1, Stephanie stopped mentioning her publicly. Her posts became more guarded, her messages carefully worded, her social media activity cautious. It wasn't paranoia, it was survival. She knew something or someone had the capacity to punish dissent, to silence voices, and Stephanie wasn't willing to risk it. Even in her final TikTok, her words were chilling in retrospect. Not everything as it seems. Protect your peace. Was she protecting herself or trying to warn others? Making videos like this takes countless hours of research, verifying every fact, reviewing reports, and piecing together the story of someone's life, a life that was stolen far too soon. If you value the effort it takes to tell these stories, to honor victims like Stephanie, subscribe to True Crime 911 right now. It's not just about clicks, it's about keeping their memory alive. And if you're still not convinced, comment below and tell me why you won't subscribe. I want to know why some people choose silence over awareness. Every subscriber helps ensure that these stories are remembered. Every comment sparks conversation. Every share shines a light on cases that might otherwise be forgotten.